Hello and welcome to Planet 40k. I'm Carl and I'm going to be joined by Planet 40k's Eugenio. And today we're going to be discussing the Indomitus Boxset and we're going to be doing our first tier list on the channel. So we've been doing our reviews for the past few months on all the units in the box sets. I've been covering the Necrons and Eugenio's been covering the Primaris Marines. Eugenio, how have you found in these Primaris Marines?
Yeah, the box set's pretty good. All the models they're pretty decent. There's not much that's kind of throwaway in there, so you're going to get good use out of the box especially if you're starting. It's quite a solid starter army, really. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, the Necrons, some of them are decent, some of them are all right, but we'll see as we go on the tier list. So let me set this up. Bear with. There we go. So have you got that on your screen?
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, so the very first one. So guys, before I actually start, these are just based on our opinions at this current time. We're sort of near the middle to end of August. The codexes are going to be coming out in about a month or so's time, so everything can change. So this is how it is at the moment. If you have a different opinion, put it down below. We'd like to listen and respond to it and see how we go from there. So we're going to start off with the Assault Intercessor Squad.
Okay, you've got a plan of starting, all right.
Yeah, I've got them in order ready. I'm all ready to go. Okay,
so for them, in the review I did for them, I gave them a 4. I actually forgot their attacks for their chainswords in that video, so they've actually get 21 attacks. So they're actually a bit better. Yeah, 21 attacks.
Is that five man, yeah?
Yeah, so 5 men get 21 attacks on the charge with shock assault and all their rules. So yeah, it's pretty insane amount of attacks with them. So okay, so yeah, I'm new to this tier list thing, so it's not like a rating where it's like number 1, number 2. Okay,
yeah, we've not actually explained these, have we? So
yeah.
From top to bottom, if it's I'll explain it to you as well as the viewers. So if it's like top tier, we've called it overpowered, then it's going to be going in this column here. So for example, it will go like that. I've moved them in the wrong order now. Never mind. If it's better than average, it's decent. It's going to be going in that orange row there. If it's average, not bad, it's going to be going in that middle column, below par. And then if it's just awful, it's going in the awful. Pretty self-explanatory. So we're just going to be dragging them in. And throughout the video, we may be moving them up and down depending on what's in that row. We might think, oh, that's a bit too high, so we might move them.
So do you want to hear a bit about the Intercessors? Like, I don't know if you remember much about them. Do you want to hear?
Just like, give a little brief review of them, and then we'll slot them in.
I've got the rules here, so let me just give you a quick. I think pretty much their stats are typical Primaris stats.
Yeah, I don't need all the stats and abilities. Just a quick.
Where are we? Here we go. So what points are they? They are power level. They are 19 points per model, and the sergeant is 24, and that includes the war gear. So yeah, 19 points, and then so they've got usual stats for Marines. And then for the Primaris, and they've got 2 attacks, but then they get +1 for having the Astartes chainsword and +1 for shock assault when they.
That's a -1 AP weapon, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's -1 AP, 1 damage. So a regular guy's getting 4 attacks on the charge, and the sergeant's getting 5. So it's a lot of attacks.
Okay, I'm going to push you forward on this because there's about 14 or so to do.
Oh yeah, okay,
let's get one on the board.
Okay, so yeah, I would say decent. Definitely decent.
We probably could do with a few more rows. It's sort of in between there and there, I think. But
you think it's overpowered?
Not quite overpowered, but it's decent enough. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. With all the rules they've got, the amount of attacks, and what guns do they all have? The heavy bolt pistols, right?
Yeah. So I forgot. Yeah, so heavy bolt pistols as well. 18 range. I think it used to be 16, so it's changed to 18.
That's -1 AP as well. So
they're
decent. They're a solid unit. They're not average by any means. So yeah, we'll go with that for now. So what have I got? I've got I believe that's the Overlord. I'm just checking. Yep, that is the Necron Overlord. I'm just going to flip the page. I think he's pretty cheap. I gave him a 3-star, just because he doesn't go around smashing the hell out of everything. I mean, he's
not got many attacks, right?
He's only got 3 attacks, and okay, he's got nice little aura abilities with My Will Be Done and Relentless March, which was changed slightly. He's got a 4-up Invan and Living Metal, decent stats. But the current one that's in the Indomitus box set, there's no upgrade options. So he's got the Tachyon Arrow, which is a 1-shot only for the battle, and the Hyperphase Glaive, which gives him Strength 7, -3 AP, damage D3. I would like to have seen...
I hate those D3. They bug me, those.
I would like to have seen a better...
You can't rely on it.
In fact, there's no Resorb either at the moment. I know the Codex one obviously has a Resorb, so when you're doing a list, you'd be using the current Codex one rather than the Indominus one until the Codex gets released, obviously. So that's why I've given him... That's why I'm going to put him in the 3. He's cheap. He's for me, he's sort of in the middle there again, like between... not bad and decent, but I wouldn't class him on the same level as like...
So in terms of like, because I don't know, I mean, I've obviously watched your videos, but can't remember a lot. So what's kind of good about him? What's he got that's worth taking?
So he's got My Will Be Done, which is basically with a unit within 9 inches of the Overlord. You +1 to the hit rolls, and they also... Where has it gone?
So that's pretty decent, isn't it?
Hey, sorry, you're +1 to hit. So that it's kind of decent when you combo that with like Tesla weapons, because Tesla's like on 6s they get 3 hits. So if you use the My Will Be Done on a nearby squad of Tesla, then it works on 5s. So on that sense,
and
it's decent.
It's not unmodified. It's just
it'll work on 5s.
5s, okay.
So. It used to be able to have other ways to get it from 4s, but they've capped it on the new edition, so you can need +1 and -1. Cool. Relentless March as well, which is an aura. Units within 6, they can add 1 to their distance for moving and advancing. So
helps them because they're slow.
Yeah, those 2 rules used to be 1 rule combined, so you used to only be able to put it on 1 unit. So now it's sort of separated, and it's an aura, or one of them's an aura.
Yeah.
So he is solid, and he's sort of a go-to. He is a go-to HQ. But I
give him +1 to hit is really good, isn't it? I mean, anything +1 to hit or wound is. I think that's always decent.
Hit's a little bit worse than wound, but still, it's still decent. Especially
what's their ballistic skill in general?
What Necrons is usually 3s.
Okay, so yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm going to put it there for now. So next we have got the what are these bikes called? They're the Outriders, aren't they?
Outriders, yeah. So yeah, these ones, the main they've got this twin bolt rifle, which is rapid fire 2, 30 inches, and because they're bikes, they can rapid fire basically if they move. They just rapid fire whenever they want. From any range. So so they're getting 4 shots with that. So shooting wise, they're decent, 4 shots each. And then they've got, so the thing that makes them like pretty good is this devastating charge rule, which adds 2 to the attack's characteristics.
Okay.
If they make a charge.
So it's 4 attacks then.
Yeah. So 4 attacks, and then 5 if you add shock assault. So 5 attacks each.
And the chainsword as well.
And they've got they got the chainsword. Oh yeah, so 6, sorry. So easy to miss stuff, yeah. So
there's so many.
6 attacks.
And the
so you had
gets 7.
7 for the sergeant. So if you had I'm assuming you'd be able to take more than 3 of these when the codex comes out. I don't know why they've done that, but for whatever reason. So if you had a squad of 5 or 6 of these guys, then that's a lot of attacks.
Yeah, it's mega. Maybe they won't change them because you're getting that many attacks as it is.
Yeah. I'm interested to see with some of these if they will just keep them to the squads of 3. But yeah, so these ones are definitely decent. Overpowered at the moment, the sergeant can't take any upgrades. so you can't take like a power fist or any heavy kind of weapon on the bike either. So I think they're decent, definitely decent.
So we're going to put these in decent, yeah? I think we're going to find a common theme here. They're all going to be decent.
I think, yeah. It is the box set after all. So
but Necrons are sort of a bit everywhere. And I mean, you've seen from our YouTube comments, like some people will say they're the best thing since sliced bread. And the next comment will be like, they're the worst thing ever. And it's quite hard to sort of play the fence a bit and go, and no. But
there's so many, like so much synergy with different units and different rules.
And your own play style as well.
It's easy to miss something and you're like, yeah, exactly. So
okay, so let's move on to a Necron Eunuch, the Plasmans.
This guy.
This caused a bit of controversy, didn't it?
All the love.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people didn't like it. I loved it, and a lot of people loved it, but a lot of people also hated it, and they were like, "Why would you take this?" And I thought you just have to look a bit deeper into what he does. I actually gave him a 4-star. I stand by that. I'm not going to change it.
It was all the mortal wounds, wasn't it?
So so he's got 2 abilities. The first one is an aura ability. So at the start of the fight phase, you roll a d6 for enemy units within 6 inches, and on a 4+, it's 1 mortal wound, which that on its own that's like meh, that's okay. But then he's got a second ability, the Harbinger of Destruction. At the end of the movement phase, if you've not advanced or fallen back, you select the nearest visible enemy unit within 18. And you roll 3d6, and each 4+, you give a mortal wound. So you're just like
18 is.
You're just giving out these mortal wounds. It's similar to Smite in a way, except he's not a psyker, but you're just dishing out mortal wounds left, right, and centre every different phase. And if you protect him well with, say, Cryptothralls or a Blob of Warriors or whatever you want to do to protect him, you just throw him up there, protect him, and he's throwing out wounds. He's getting his points back easily. He's got a strength 7.
How many points is he?
I've not got the points in front of me at the moment. I've only got this. I've got the Indomitus Boxset book in a minute, and it only has power. I think I've got a feeling it was 70, or was it more? No,
70. Wow.
No. You know what? I've got that wrong. I can quickly check. So let's have a quick look. Data sheets using the new app. So 80. I went far off. 80 points or 4 power.
He's going to make that back easy.
Yeah, he comes also with a plasmic lance, which is shooting and melee, 18-inch assault D3, strength 7, AP -3, 2 damage. And the melee version is the same stats, except it's a strength user, which is 4.
How many attacks did you say? Attacks?
Attacks, he's only got 1. So it shouldn't be in combat. It shouldn't be in combat.
Yeah.
He can shoot, get a couple of wounds off, and then do those mortal wounds. And just remember, guys, they're mortal wounds. They're not like, you can't save mortal wounds unless you're like, noble or something. But you're not saving them.
Hold on, I'm trying to think. So you've got him. Just assume you're in range all turns.
You won't be all
say
turns.
Worst case, say 4 turns. If you want to get him forward, and your opponent's probably going to come forward most likely a little bit. So there should be something that you get.
And even if he doesn't get it all, it's going to be a distraction. Your opponent's going to be like, I'm not having this every turn. And that's only 80 points to distract your opponent. Like, otherwise he's just chipping off like, Primaris Marines left, right, and centre.
So you've got 4 turns times 3. 4 3s are 12. So then half of that. So you're dishing out 6 mortal wounds every game on average. Is that right?
On average, you could be doing, if you're doing 1, the aura is like anyone within range. So it could be 1
I'm
unit.
just thinking of the one that's 18-inch. Just assume he doesn't get into combat.
Oh, that one's, you get 3, so 1.5 average. Kind of hard to
So per game, if you say he's doing that 4 turns, then that's 6 mortal wounds on average.
And that's just the one ability.
Yeah, that's just 1. So if you add the other one, if you get a few more.
So he's easily getting his points back.
Yeah, he's getting his points back, isn't he? And then does he have any other auras? Buffs to it?
He's got living metal that helps himself with with wounds, but these kind of rules may change, like living metal and reanimation.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. But at the moment, it just gives him a wound at the start of his turn. He's a Cryptech. He's got fly character. He's a HQ. So if you don't want to go too spending too much on your HQ, you can just get this guy for 80 points. Done.
It's got fly, which is handy as well.
It's got fly, which is handy, and you can have numerous of them. This is the other thing I said in the video. Just get 3 of them. I know, like that's being competitive. I wouldn't do that like against, like, say you. That's not how I play against you. But you could have 3 of these guys because they're not, named characters.
I'd hate that. Yeah.
And walk them all up, and each one of them is doing like a ridiculous amount of wounds, and that's 80 times 3 is what it's going to cost you.
You could have one,
240
points, one each on the flanks and one in the middle.
Yeah, 240 points, and you guard them with, again, Cryptothralls, Warrior Blobs, Immortals now that are toughness 5, or you're not going to get to them that easily. So I'm rating them as decent.
I really like him, yeah.
People are going to disagree. They're going to be like, oh, it's below par.
So what was it? Why did people hate him? They give reasons, or?
Well, they were looking at things like, the Primaris captain is 105 points, and he's got all other things, Invan saves, and I get that. Yeah, I do get that.
But this guy's got bodyguards, and I mean, captain can't dish out mortal wounds, as far as I remember.
No.
So, yeah.
I mean, things may change. The things may change, like in tier list and the codex itself. So at the moment, that's where I'd go. So cool. The next one, what are they? They are the Eradicators, I believe.
Mate, it could be. This could be overpowered. Like I gave them a 4 in the review, but now they've brought out the melter rule, the new melter rule. So.
Do you want to repeat what the melter rule is again? The new one?
Yeah, the new one. I just read the Warhammer community article. It wasn't that clear, but I think what it was you get a minimum now of 2 damage.
Okay.
On top of the roll, I think.
On top of the roll?
Yeah, so anyway, they said you get a maximum of possible 8 damage.
Okay.
So it must be that. I can't.
Is that within melter range? Is that melter range and stuff like that? Half range.
Basically, yeah. The melter rule has changed. Yeah, sorry.
So I've not actually seen it.
Yeah, no, you're right. So the melter rule now is, I think you get minimum 2 plus d6. So that's within melter range. So rather than choosing, the best of 2 dice, you're getting the chance to. If you roll a 6, then you get an 8 damage.
Yeah.
So
these guys, I'm just looking here. They can shoot twice. They can shoot.
Sorry,
twice.
Say that again.
And these guys, I'm just looking in the thing. They shoot twice.
Yeah. So let me just find the. Here we go. Data sheet. So it says in your shooting phase. This is called total obliteration. I have trouble saying that.
Yeah, I've noticed.
But obliteration. You can declare this unit will only shoot a single target. If you do, select 1 target unit for this unit. Unit for this unit? The way they write some of this stuff. Models in this unit can shoot twice this phase, but they can only target that enemy unit. So basically, you can choose one unit.
But you wouldn't want to target someone else because they only shoot one anyway.
I'd be using that every time.
Well, yeah.
So, 2 shots. At the moment, there's 3 in a squad, but like we said with the other ones, you might be able to take 5. To be honest, I'd probably take two lots of 3 or something.
Yeah.
If you have the space.
Depends on the detachments now.
Yeah. But yeah, like a big. These could be OP. I don't like with the new melter rule because you could come in from reserves and
just do stuff quick.
Yeah,
especially with like some of these like salamander rules and things like that. I bet they can do.
Yeah, there's like. I think this is probably the best. I mean, I don't know much about the Necrons, but I think this is probably the best thing.
What did you give them a 5?
I gave them a 4 because I can't remember why I gave them a 4. There was a reason. They got 3 wounds.
It was one of the first ones you did, wasn't it? That's why it felt so long ago now.
I just think, I remember I showed them to you and you were kind of buzzing about them, and I was like, "Wow, these are amazing! You can shoot twice," but they will get picked off. I know they're toughness 5, but 3 wounds.
That's good,
Don't like 3 up save. So, but I think for what they can do before they die, I think, they're good. I think these could be. Let's just because we haven't got anything. Let's just do them in OP.
I think they're going OP. Okay, so let's move on to the Warriors then. I've just gone with the slap bang average with these guys in the video. I went with 3. This was before they've changed some of the the weapon rules, which I've not fully gone into yet, but they've changed. I think it's the Gorse weapons have got an extended range now. They've got 2 weapons anyway, Gorse Flayer and Gorse Reaper. I choose the Flayer every time, the longer version one, which is in the book. It's 24 inches, rapid fire 1. Just because you're getting more.
Is that changing?
I'm not sure because it's only I think it only dropped the other day and I haven't actually looked at that yet. But it was more about the Immortals, I think. So I've not delved too much into it because I was trying to deal with other things. But the Reaper, because it's short range, even though it's a strength 5, the shorter range one, to me, you're losing like a turn of shooting. Well, you might not, but you're losing like a turn of shooting. It's got a better AP as well, -2. But I just rather the 24-inch using it sort of every turn without fail.
Although the board is smaller now, so
it is smaller, but it's 14-inch, and to get the rapid fire off, that means 7-inch. So it's like, are you really going to get into 7 inches?
You wouldn't want to, I imagine. They're not that great in combat.
I mean, I believe, which one is it? I think it's the Mefrit, the new Mefrit. It's not new, but in the new codex, the Mefrit dynasty. I think that's the one that gives them a different range to the gun. Off the top of my head, because we've not got the codex to see it yet, we can't really remember. But they've got the reanimation protocols, which is the main thing with these guys. They're going to keep standing up. If you've got a 20-man blob, which I always say, 20-man blob, they're very hard to put the whole lot of them down, especially when you've got, you could have Ghost Arcs, Resurrection Orbs, Reanimation, other, Cryptex that help out. And they've got their own little ability, which is reroll reanimation protocols of rolls of 1 as well. So,
that's good, isn't it?
So having that with, like Cryptex that are giving +1 to the roll, and the Canoptic Reanimator, which gives +1 to the roll, and then you've got Resurrection Orbs that re-roll a lot of it, and I think there's even stratagems that also re-roll, and it's crazy. I think
of all the armies that you've collected, I think Necrons have been the worst, the one I've hated playing against. I've never liked them. I just can't relate to them, and they just don't die. It's so frustrating.
Well, I'm Tyranids, but I'm sort of finding my love again for these guys, because I used to play them when I was a lot younger, and
with the Mind Shackle Scarabs from the old
edition. That was, what edition was that? 6th or 7th? I can't remember.
I used to hate that.
They weren't no like wounds.
I had Abaddon in that one game. I had Abaddon, and your like little Lord he just made me kill himself.
Yeah, that was good. Good times. So yeah. I can't say they're sort of decent or overpowered. I can't be putting them in that sort of category with Assault Intercessors with all these extra wounds and bazillion attacks, because they've not got that kind of stuff. They've got 4 up
Rerolling the reanimation is good though. That's quite cool.
That's just resiliency though. That's not like putting out damage. I know they do put out damage. Their Ghost Flyer isn't no joke, but compared to Assault Intercessors or anything really, like the bikes we've just done, those Outriders, they're not putting out the heart, the hurt really. So that's why I'm going to be putting them in the not bad section.
Okay, I'll probably go. They got -1 AP.
Yeah, it's -1 AP. Again, if you go back to what we're saying about the Overlord, you can +1 to the hits.
So is it rapid fire, the 24?
Yeah, both guns are rapid fire.
I'd say they're decent, but okay, we'll go with.
I think they're sort of in between again.
Yeah, okay.
I think learning on the go here, like we probably need a row in between these just to. On the next one we do, we'll be doing that, I think.
Okay. So
how do you pronounce him again?
Judicia.
Judicia, that's the way. I keep saying Judicator. That's definitely not the word, is it? Judicia.
So find this guy.
So he's got four power.
So I this guy I gave a 3.5. So originally we weren't doing points in between, but I think this one it wasn't quite. There was something. I just don't think he quite hit the mark to get.
I think quite underwhelming.
Well, he's got the rule that at the start of each fight phase, select one enemy unit within 6. That unit cannot fight until all other eligible.
But you've got to really think about how you're going to use that, because it's not obvious at first. Like, I think somebody in the comments actually said, like, you put him behind a squad of assault intercessors or something, and then charge him in and put him in the fight phase, and then all of a sudden nobody's touching the assault intercessors, and then
this is originally what I thought. But if you think about it, when you charge, you're normally going first anyway, or you should be going first. So it's only really good if someone charges you. So what I've said in the review is he's probably better as more of a counter-attack.
Well, he doesn't have to be in combat. It just says
unit
within 6.
Within 6.
So you can still, like if it's the next round of combat and it's your opponent that's going to be going first, you block that. Yeah,
but like it's just not good. Like, so say like what you said with the assault intercessors and having him, if you get the charge off, then it doesn't do anything. But unless you don't kill them all. But I mean,
I see what you're saying.
It's rare nowadays, isn't it?
You're either going to wipe them out or they're going to wipe you out. Or if not, then then
you don't really get long drawn out combats much nowadays. It's kind of like
it's not very hoardy now, is it? Okay.
Yeah, so
and his damage output isn't top notch either, is it? They're all damage 2, which is all right, but it's not.
No, I think he's pretty good in combat. He's got.
It's not
so he's got 5 attacks. Yeah, so he's strength 7, -3 AP, 2 damage, and he's got this rule. So it's each unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound in addition to any other damage. So 6 is to wound, mortal wound. So that's kind of nice.
But you've only got 4 attacks to begin with, so you might get a 6. You're more likely to get a 6. One of them.
You get 5 on the charge.
Oh, sorry, is it 5? Oh, it's Angels of Death. Yeah.
Yeah, so
you will get 1/6, surely.
I think I got the maths way wrong in the video for that one, but it was like something like 50-50 chance of getting.
Yeah, I remember like scolding you for that actually.
Yeah, so
you were like, "Oh, he's got a 1 in 9 chance of doing it."
It was not a 1 in 9 chance. Yeah, so it's about 50-50.
No more late nights doing maths.
Yeah, so he's okay. I just think
it's cheap.
It's called execute.
It's cheap.
Yeah, he's 85, I think, points.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Check quickly.
But he's not a HQ.
Points.
I've just realised he's not a HQ. He's an elite, isn't he?
Oh, is that what he says in? See, I wasn't sure at the time, so I didn't say.
Yeah, he's an elite. That's the elite
okay. So
symbol.
that's not too bad. It doesn't take up a slot.
See, in some ways, I'd like it to take up a slot because then you don't have to get an expensive HQ if you don't want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But sometimes it goes the other way. But yeah.
Yeah, there are options with. There's lots of options with Space Marines, but this guy. So yeah, I think not bad for this guy. So he's got. I think the Executioner Relic Blade. It's got such a cool name.
And the sword's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just thought like. It should be a little. I know you get the mortal wounds on the 6, so maybe that's kind of what they're going with there. But
I would have gave it strength 8. Kept the damage at 2 to sort of nerf it a bit, but I would have gave it the 8 just to give it.
I just think he's like a pretty bad looking model. Like he's like, he looks scary, but
he looks like chaos.
Actually, he's not as scary as he looks like. That's what I kind of.
So what are you saying? Are you saying not bad?
I'm saying not bad. I gave him a 3.5. So, like you said, he's in between. In my opinion.
Okay. I think the next one we're going to do is the Canopic Reanimate. I think
is this the one that
this was actually the one. I think
hate?
I've mixed it up. Yeah, this was the one that got the hate, and I gave it the hate as well. But people were swearing on their mothers that this was the best thing ever.
Okay.
So this guy, 5 power, he's a monster. So he kind of does the same sort of role as a Cryptek. He gives +1 to the reanimation roll, right? Except
but it's within 9, right? I think I remember this.
It's within 9. But the problem is he's not a character like a Cryptek is. So he just gets picked off straight away. Like if he's with a load of warriors, you're not going to shoot the warriors because he's going to be getting +1 reanimation every time. You're going to be shooting this thing. And my issue was like he's got no invuln, he's got 6 wounds, and you can pick him off.
Instantly. So you can target. He's not a character.
He's not a character. He's a monster. He's just a monster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He's got no like abilities other than the one I mentioned about the +1. He's got living metal, but he's got no quantum shielding, or he's got nothing like that, which ignores a lot of damage on some of the bigger vehicles. I just found him very underwhelming. He's got a 12-inch range assault 3 strength 6 weapon. It's 12-inch. Like, really? Your warriors aren't going to be that forward. I mean, they could be if they want to get rapid fire, I guess. But this guy ain't even going to get there before. He's going to be dead beforehand. The only good thing. How many
wounds has he got? Sorry,
he's got 6 wounds.
And he's toughness 6.
And his toughness 5. His toughness 5.
He's 5. Oh, okay. That's not
so the argument against what I'm saying is you add him with a Cryptek. So you have a Cryptek and this, and then it will be +2 to your reanimation.
Yeah.
And now if you think that goes from 5 to 4 to 3, so it's a 3-up reanimation, and warriors reroll 1s as well. And that's before any like shenanigans with resorbs and stratagems. So in that sense, it's good. Yeah. But what a few people were saying is like he's only I think he has 130 points. I'm going to check that. For the sake of 130 points, you're getting I
thought it was 110 if I remember.
110. No, you are right. It's 110. So for the sake of 110 points, you're getting all these buffs. And I said, well, you'll get if you've got a Cryptek, which that's already an expense within itself. If you to make this combo work, you've already got it down to a +4. So all this guy is really doing is adding another 16%. That doesn't include the rerolls of the ones with the warriors. So for 110 points, you're adding 16%. And I just thought he doesn't give much damage output. He's not a HQ, so you can't fill that cheaply. He's just an elite, and you can't defend him. He's tall as well. I mean, I don't know if you can see the model.
Oh, so you can't actually... you can't hide him.
That tall model there. You can't really hide him. You can, but not... I mean, somebody had a good suggestion of getting the monolith and putting everything behind the monolith, but then you're blocking... You're probably blocking half your army doing that. And plus, the monolith's near 300 points as it is. So that's got to be a big game. For small games, I can't see this being used. So I actually put it as a 2-star. That was before we were doing half stars. Now,
I think that's fair.
I'd now drop it to 1.5 if I could.
Really? But I don't think it's awful because it is given like if you did use it.
That's all it's doing.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all it's doing. And if you're doing that don't get me wrong. If that's the list you've already got in place, a Cryptek, this warriors, if that's your list already, then it's fantastic. It's like,
but it's within 9, so you could get like 3 squads, 3-4 squads.
So if that was your list every game, I'd be putting it in the decent. But to create that list, you might not be doing that list for starters. So you then got to start spending Cryptek points. Then you've got to buy this guy for 110, and then you've got to have a certain play style of. I mean, he doesn't even attack as well. It's got 4 attacks, but it's just strength 5. You're not going to get him in combat, and I just don't like it. I can't. I'm sticking below par. People are going to fight me in the comments with that one. I know that. Some people will agree with me. Some people won't.
Yeah, I kind of get where you're coming from.
I just would rather
not much of a fan of the model either.
Yeah, and at the moment he does stack with the Cryptek. Maybe that will get nerfed in the Codex as well. You don't know. We don't know yet. So let's move on before I get too much hate. The Primaris Captain, I believe that one is.
Okay. So this one's solid, really.
He's a solid.
Yeah.
105 points.
Let me just check this. Yeah, 105. So this is all these points are including the war gear, by the way. So yeah, he's 5 power level. He's got usual kind of stats for Primaris Captain. So weapon skill, ballistic skill, 2+, strength toughness 4, 6 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 9, 3-up save. So he's got the Relic Shield, which says +1 to your save. So it's 2+ save with a 4+ invuln. Oh, and then I forgot this thing is
when he shrugs off.
Roll 1d6 on a 4+. That mortal wound is ignored.
You ignore mortal wounds? I never.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the Relic Shield. So it's not.
That's really good.
Yeah, I forgot. It's not.
So when my Plasmancer comes throwing mortal wounds, you're just bouncing him off his shield.
Yeah, so each time the bearer suffers a mortal wound, roll 1d6 on a 4+. That is, so it's just ignored. Ignores mortal wounds. So yes, it's really good.
And it's got the basic re-roll hit rolls of 1 for friendlies within 6. That's quite standard for captains, isn't it?
Okay. I was having a look here. I was like, where's his invuln? But he's got the Iron Halo, so that gives him the invuln, and then the Relic Shields for the mortal wounds. So he's really good. And one thing that I found out is that you can upgrade him to Chapter Master, and then that increases his aura.
Where does it say that?
I think it's a stratagem, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. But that might change in the codex.
It might change, but at the moment it's 1 CP. And instead of re-rolling hit rolls of 1, you re-roll all hit rolls. So
for everyone within 6.
Everyone. And it's not costing you any more points as well to do that.
You gave him. What did you give him? You gave him
I gave him a 4. I gave him a 4.
I thought you gave him a 5.
Yeah, I think the main reason is because
I'd pump him up to a 5, you know.
He's got his weapon. That's the thing. At the moment, you can't give him a power fist or anything like that. So he's got strength 5, -3 AP, 2 damage. It's not like you ain't going to be going toe to toe with Abaddon.
For some reason, I thought he had. I couldn't see the picture properly. I thought that was a Thunderhammer. It's not. It's a master power sword. It's only strength 5, but it's -3 AP. That's decent.
Yeah.
5 attack, shock assault, 6.
Yeah, so you're getting pretty decent amount of attacks.
You're not missing your hits because you're re-rolling.
Yeah, you're not missing your hits. It's just the wound roll. It's just the wound roll. If you come up against anything that's tough, then...
Yeah, but you're strength 5 anyway.
Yeah, that is true.
And then anything that gets through is -3, so that's... And 2 damage apiece. That's decent. That's really good, you know.
I think I gave him a 4, but I reckon maybe you could push him to a 4.5, especially when you consider upgrading him to Chapter Master. I don't think he's overpowered. No,
so we're going to go decent, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. I think if he could have, like, you know, when the Codex comes up, if he has an upgrade to get like a higher strength, then I would say, yeah.
Okay, so let's get on to the Cryptophrol. So this is one of my little regrets of my videos. I gave him the 3-star. And after playtesting and whatnot, I think they're a lot better. They're closer to 4-star than 3-star. These guys are animals, and I mean it. They are animals. So you're taking them with a Cryptek, obviously, because otherwise, why would you take them? In fact, they come free in the detachment. Not free. They don't take up a slot in the detachment when you've got a Cryptek. So when you do have a Cryptek with them, their attacks go from 3 each to 6 each. And their weapon skill and ballistic skill goes up by 1 to 3.
Yeah,
they're cheap as chips. 2 of them cost 40 points for 2 of these guys, right? Yeah. And what their main role is they basically are like a lookout sir. They prevent any ranged attacks coming at your Cryptek, and that even includes snipers, which I learned in the comments. Unfortunately, that includes all your snipers, anything ranged. So. All the little combination you can do, like you can hide these guys in terrain, but keep them within distance of your Cryptek, so none of them can get targeted. But yeah, having a total of 12 attacks with their their side limbs at strength 5 -1 AP. I know that's not massive damage, but these guys are holding back at the back, little bodyguards, preventing anyone touching your HQs, your Crypteks that are giving +1 reanimation to your warriors. Like everything is just synergized into everything. So these guys are good. They work with the Plasmancer. He's a Cryptek. They work with the Illumina Suarez. He's a Cryptek. They've got a 12-inch 2-shot pistol at strength 5 -2 AP as well.
That's decent. What, that just 1 damage?
That's just 1 damage, but there's 2 of them, so it's going to be 4 shots with ballistic skill, 3 if they're near the Cryptek. They've got living metal and reanimation protocols, which is quite rare to have both of those rules. I'm just checking the last rule. Yeah, I've got that bit already. So strength toughness 5 as well. I just think they're
tough. Yeah,
they're good little like 40 points. 40. That's nothing. That's a couple of little guns. I mean, if you've got
They'll be a pain to deal with.
Yeah,
I think, yeah.
If you've got a couple of Cryptex on the board, you can get another squad of them for another 40, and that's like, to me, you're almost adding wounds, like, you know, to your HQs effectively, but giving them more attacks and weapons as well. And like I said, I gave them a 3. I'd put them 3.5, maybe even 4 at a push, because they are, just because of the price, 40 for 2.
I think I'd give them a 5, a 4. Yeah,
you'd give them the
definitely.
4, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you think about it, they're the same price as an Intercessor. The Assault Intercessors, 1 point more each. What wounds have they got?
They've only got 2 wounds.
They got same wounds. They're higher toughness, higher strength. They get more attacks when they're with the Cryptek. They bodyguard. Yeah, they're really good.
And they're not that big. You probably can't even see them. Where are they? These little dudes here. They're so small. So you could even hide these in terrain or ruins. But their aura still works. The Protector's aura on the Cryptek. So it's.
Plus, they've got both those rules, the living metal, like you were saying, and the reanimation as well.
I mean, in the video, I mentioned that those rules might not come into effect because they'll probably get wiped out in the same turn. But a few people in the comments were saying, "Oh, those 2 rules are so good. Like I've been using them, and they're just coming clutch every time." And I'm like, okay, fair enough. But no, I think it's purely because of that cost. They're 40 points. It's nothing.
Yeah.
So that's where they're going for now. This guy, he's the lieutenant.
Yeah, the lieutenant is solid as well. I think he's probably one of my favourites in the box, actually. So he's got lieutenant stats like, you know, typical Primaris HQ. So weapon ballistic skill 2+, movement 6, strength toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 8. So 1 less than the captain. And 3 up save, but he's getting so he's got a storm shield. So he's got 4 up in bun. Yeah, 2+ save because it gives improves the
so he's kind of
error
the
save
same,
by
really,
1.
isn't he?
But he's reroll, so he's got an aura reroll wound rolls of 1.
So you have both of them.
Friendly models.
You just take both of them, and that's it.
Yeah,
done.
And I like that he's got the same weapon as the captain, the mastercrafted power sword. So it's strength 5, -3 AP, 2 damage. But he's got this Neo Volkite pistol, which is range 15, so a weird range, but it's not too bad. Like 15, so it's pistol 2, strength 5, no AP, but 2 damage. And each unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target, in addition to any other damage. So I quite like that.
So how many shots? So he's got 2 shots.
He's got 2 shots. So you're
not likely to be getting 6s, but it's still a good little
couple.
bonus.
Yeah, so I kind of like that weapon. It's 2 damage as well. The AP is not there, but if you do get a 6, then you're getting the.
I think he's mainly there. He's mainly there for the reroll wounds, I think.
Yeah, but I kind of like that pistol as well. It's just a little bonus.
So he's only 90 points.
You could use that in combat as well if you get him stuff in combat and stuff. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, I think he's
good little combo there. Having both
he's
of them.
Decent. Yeah, I think he's decent.
So I remember you used to play Space Wolves, and you used to have I don't remember the names, but you had the guy that gives reroll hits, and then the guy that
had
reroll
Arjac
and
Arjac
it was just like
Kron together.
You don't miss anything. It's impossible to deal with. So that's
I
just
remember
like
you hating that. Yeah.
Space Marine cheese. This is, but it used to be Necron cheese in the beginning of 8th, if I remember correctly. So where is he going with the captain then? Are we going to be
with the captain?
Okay.
Yeah.
These aren't in order, by the way, guys. I'm just sort of putting them on the same line. Some people put these like in different orders, but I'm just going to keep going with the line. So next in line is the Royal Warden, which that's the most recent video I've done actually. I'm not that keen. I think he's a bit.
Everyone's loved the video though. Like loads of people.
I gave him a 3-star, and I think it was a bit generous. He's just.
Were you almost regretting this 3-star?
Yes and no. For a little bit, I think it's 10 more points. You can get an Overlord for starters. This guy doesn't have an in-bun. He has no melee weapon. He's got a weapon skill 3 rather than 2. And he's got 1 less wound as well. So for 10 points, you're getting all that. Plus all the rules that the Overlord gets, the My Will Be Done and the Relentless March. He doesn't get any of that. What he does get, though, is potentially very overpowered. So he's got adaptive strategy, which is in the command phase, you select a friendly dynasty unit within 9 inches. Until the end of that turn, the unit can fall back and be selected to shoot and charge. So in this edition, that's massive because like they've nerfed like Fly, for example. That Fly can't just fall back and then do things. So
sorry, I missed that. So it's fall back, shoot, and charge.
It can shoot and charge. Yes.
Bloody hell. Okay, that's really good.
But I mean, like for example, your warriors. You're getting the warriors out of combat because now they can shoot their gauze weapons. But they're not going to go charging, are they? Realistically, but you can get anything out. So it just says a friendly dynasty unit. So that could apply to a Doomsday Ark, a big vehicle. You can get it out. Good.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's like in the old edition when you're minusing and things like that. So it's that can work very, very nicely. Like I keep saying, in this edition, that's a really OP rule, but that's all he has. He's got a decent-ish weapon as well. Relic Ghost Blaster. So it's a rapid fire 2, 24-inch, strength 5 minus 2 AP, 2 damage. So that's not bad. He's just like a pumped-up immortal, really. He's just toughness 5, strength 5, wounds 4. I don't know why this guy's in the HQ slots, to be honest. He should be.
A lot of people were complaining about that.
To me, he's an elite. And I said it in the video. Like I compared him to Death Guard elites, like the Nauseous Blightbringer and the Plague Surgeon. That's the kind of level he's at. I don't know why he's a HQ, but on the other hand, you can look at it as a positive and say, if I want a cheap HQ, I can get that and fill the slot, and then not worry about the HQs for the detachment. But 10 points more, Overlord. So I would sort of go down here.
You're going to change it, okay?
Or yeah, I think so. I think he's going to go sort of there. He sort of would go in the middle, but I'm going to stick him there for now.
It's funny with a lot of these characters. They seem to have like one rule that you've got to make work sometimes.
Yeah.
Or if it's not for that rule, then they're just useless.
Whereas the Marine ones, yes, they've got the rule, but they're also little beasts as well. They can handle themselves. They've got an inbound save, and they've got all.
Hold on a minute, because we got the next one coming up, and you're going to find out that it's not true always.
No, but this guy's to me, this guy's an elite as well. He's a standard bearer. That's what he is. He's got a fancy name, is he? What's he called?
So this one's a Blade Guard Ancient. Yeah, it is a bit of a fancy name now that you mention it. Let's try and find him.
You've done this video, right?
I'm working on it now, so it'll be out before this video. Yeah,
cool. Yeah, that's why I'm not.
I had trouble placing this guy because what did I give him in the end? Yeah, I think I gave him a 3 in the end. He's got normal Angels of Death. His stat line is a regular Marine
with 5 wounds,
apart from 5 wounds, 4 attacks, but leadership 9. He hasn't got a close combat weapon, and he's only got a heavy bolt pistol. So, in terms of shooting and combat, he's not doing anything. Wouldn't say anything, but very little. And then so the banner. So this one, it gives out his leadership, or add 1 to the leadership characteristics of models in friendly units while they're within 6. So +1 leadership. So this might be okay if you have like
Space Marines need that.
Yeah, but it could save if you've got like a big gun line and you've got him at the back. Say if you've got a
Space Marines don't do that. They don't have big gun lines.
Yeah, they like with the Ultramarines, they have that's quite a popular way to play.
A big group of. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like an advancing gun line. So, you could save. That could save some models with that. And then the other rule is basically if a model within 6 dies, then you roll a d6 on a 4+. They can either attack with 1 attack, or they can make a shot. Not shot. It says they can shoot one of their ranged weapons.
Okay, or make
in the shoot as if it was a shooting phase, or they can make 1 attack. So So
why would you you would just shoot, right? Well, I suppose depends on the unit.
Exactly. This is what I was saying in the review that so this one kind of this rule benefits more like a stay back and shoot army because if you want to make the most of that, then you want to try and use it on shooting.
Something I've noticed though. Oh no, Blade Guard. Sorry, I saw that it was +1 to hit rolls, whereas the captain is re-roll hit rolls of 1. So you can combo those with Blade. It only works with Blade Guard though. So you could re-roll ones and +1 as well.
So this is the thing. So you could take him, say like one way you could use him is you could take him with some Blade Guards. Mm-hmm. You could drop them in. I mean, depends on which chapter you're playing. But say if you have Blood Angels, then you're re-rolling. You're getting hits on 2s to hit, and then wounds on 2s, and then you get +1 to your charge. So you could drop them in, have a easier charge, and then you're really good in combat. But if you're any other chapters, then I just think like the Deeds of Heroism rule, which is the one that adds 1 to the hit rolls of models within 6. It's good for the Blade, only Blade Guard. So it's good for them, but then it doesn't make the most out of his other rule. I know they can kind of hit again. So it's kind of like you're torn between, if you were going to keep him back in a gunline style, then you wouldn't use him with the Blade Guard guys.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you're kind of like, I don't know. I'm not too keen. So, I don't like the model either.
This is going to be spoilers. No, it's not spoilers. I don't actually like it. I think it's a bit sort of.
The model, yeah. I gave him a 3 because I think with those rules they can be deadly. So
I think it's more down here. I'm a bit.
Because when you think about if you have a big group of Blade Guard, I mean at the moment, like with a lot of the others, you can only have 3. But I'm assuming you have a bigger squad later, and then you're giving them +1 to hit. And then if you add, if they're Blood Angels, then they get +1 to wound as well, and then more attacks, and then so it can get ridiculous. And then plus you get in the other thing as well, where they can fight for when they die, they can fight again.
I'm presuming he's a character, right?
So he's a character. He's an elite slot. So he's not like the other, what people hated about the Warden.
So he's kind of the same, but okay. So let's get on to.
I think don't want to be too harsh on him.
So he's going to go there, yeah. Not bad.
Yeah,
not bad. I think that's fair. I'll go with that. So I'm going to get on to the Scorpic Destroyers now. It's another one where I've rated it, and I would probably change it, but only because we've changed. We originally weren't doing the half stars. I gave them a 4-star, or them a 4-star. I would pump them up even further to a 4.5 star. I'd stick them right up here, possibly even there. These guys are animals as well. It's more about their weapons. So they've got like a basic stat line of strength, toughness 5, wounds 3, attacks 3. But the attacks change dramatically in a minute. So there's 3 different weapons that they're all melee, so there's no range stuff here. One of them adds +2 strength, -4 AP, 3 damage, just flat 3 damage. And the other one...
that's strength 8? That
becomes strength 7.
Oh, strength 7, sorry, okay.
Yeah, so there's only one of them is equipped with that weapon. It's not the leader, it's just that one gets it. And the other 2 have got the Hyperphase Threshers, which are... strength 5, -3 AP and 2 damage, but they get an extra attack with that weapon. So that puts those guys up to attacks 4. So now you're talking 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 attacks. That doesn't include the plasma sight, which I'll talk about in a minute. But then they've got a rule, which is, where are we? So if you've got the plasma sight, he injects tainted energy. So you basically roll a d6, and on a 1, you lose one of those, unfortunately. 1 dies, which that really sucks. You can't re-roll that either. Anything other than a 1, you're +1 to the strength and attacks for all the destroyers. So that strength 7 you mentioned is now strength 8.
That makes a big difference, doesn't it?
And those strength 5 become strength 6, but all the attacks get pumped up by 1 as well. So now you're talking 3, 4, 4 plus.
Is a Plasmasight that little kind of snail-looking model?
Yeah, so I think that's
in the box set.
Yeah, I put him up like literally about a few hours ago. I think that's 14 attacks. I need to double check that. So they get 4. They get 5 each. 5, 10, and he gets 4. So that's 14 attacks, and you're talking like -4, -3 AP, depending on which one it is. One of them strength 8, 2 of them are strength 6. Damage either 3 or 2, and it's just like there's people in the comments saying these guys in one turn have taken down knights.
Yeah, I think I've read some of the comments saying that these guys are. I think one guy was saying that that he was playing. I think he was playing his son, and they were playing the box set. So his son was playing Marines, or he was playing Marines, and like it was like something like the captain, like a lot of the HQs basically on the Space Marine side, and loads of stuff coming forward. They missed their charge, and then this guy just cleaned up.
Yeah,
just killed everything.
This is the little squad. So not only that, they re-roll 1s to hit as well.
Okay,
so they've got their own little buff there, hardwired for destruction. And none of this includes what the Scorpic Lord does, which I should have probably put in first in this order, but never mind. I'll quickly go over the Scorpic Lord because he gives re-roll wounds or re-roll 1s when you're rolling to wound for destroy occult units within 6. So potentially,
so if you put them together,
you're re-rolling 1s to hit, re-rolling 1s to wound with 14 attacks doing a lot of damage, and it's so. I mean,
OP.
I'm thinking they go in. I think they go in. Where did they go? These guys, right?
Yeah.
I think they go in there. And I didn't even mention the Plasmasight. So the Plasmasight is this little, like you called him a little snail. So he's got real bad stats. It's just basic bod, but toughness 5, I guess. He's got his own little -1 AP weapon with 1 attack. So if you if you're taking say a las cannon to the squad, and it hits, it wounds, you can take. Let's say you roll a d6. Well, they roll the d6 and they get 6 damage. You can say, right, I'm going to take it on the Plasmasight. Bosh, get rid of him. Done. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's almost like a little mini bodyguard for these guys, as well as giving him those buffs when you're rolling. Obviously, you roll a 1, then you've really screwed yourself over. You've killed 1 automatically. They do have reanimation protocols as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there is a chance of them coming back, and again with all those cryptex and Canoptic Reanimate, you're plussing 1 to all that. They don't get re-roll 1s like the Warriors do, but still, it's Necrons, isn't it? That's what Necrons do. So I'm sticking them in 5. So
let's go with that.
What's this squad? I can't.
So this is Blade Guard veterans.
Oh yeah.
Let me just find the rules. I just did the video for this, so I should really know.
You should know this, yes.
Well, I think it's kind of standard. Oh, here we go. Blade Guard veterans.
Yeah, I remember
standard stats.
I remember being quite bored by these. They're just a little bit like they've got everything you expect done.
They've got 3 wounds, they're a bit tougher.
Only toughness
the sergeant's
4.
got leadership 9 as well. So they've got the Storm Shield, so they've got a 4-up invuln, 2+ save.
So that's
heavy bolt pistol, mastercrafted power sword. So like the captain really. They get a lot of attacks. This is the thing. So they get 3 attacks each. The sergeant gets 4, and then when you're charging in, So a squad of 3 of these, I think, gets 3, 6, 13 attacks. So
13
it's
attacks?
pretty good. And
8,
with the shock assault.
Yeah.
So and that's only 3. And then I think I worked out hopefully we'll be able to take more of these when the Codex comes out. I think I worked out like a squad of 5 will, in 1 round of combat, they'll kill like 5, 6 intercessors. So basically, they're more than going to make their points back. They're only how many?
But they've got to get up the board.
They're only like 35, I think.
That's their
They're
issue.
only 35 points each. Yeah, that's the thing. However, I mean, you can there's reserves now, so you can get them in that way.
You could reserve them with a Blade Guard Ancient as well behind him, and then they're just going to annihilate anything, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I don't know. I think I'd probably try and put them with maybe the chaplain, and try and make the most out of his rules. All the litanies. Yeah. I think I might be for the same points. I'm not really feeling the banner man, so
I'm not feeling banner man either. Standard banner.
Yeah, so I think I'd probably go the chaplain, and plus with the so with the banner guy, he's 5 power level. These guys are 5 power, so you have to pay 2 CP if you want to drop them in from reserves. Whereas I don't know, for some reason the chaplain's power level 4. Yeah, even though
see the one you're on about, the Indomitus Chapter, yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird. So
he's 4. You're right.
So he's better. Like, if you want to drop him in, you're not paying an extra command point.
Yeah, good little shout there.
Also, I'm gonna go with probably him. So they're definitely decent. Definitely decent. Okay. As well, when the Codex comes out, you might be able to upgrade the Sergeant's weapon.
Yeah.
Give him a Strength 8 weapon or something like that. So, yeah, they're pretty good.
So I'm on to the Scorpic Lord now, and I gave him a 5. I was so impressed, but I'm still impressed. I'd probably be. I think I was a bit generous. I think he'd probably be 4.5. Sort of. I think he'd be the same as these, but probably a slight bit worse than the Scorpic Destroyers.
Didn't some people hate him? Some people
basically said you don't need him. They will do it on their own. Because what he obviously gives the reroll ones to to wound. But I
think some people were saying they would rather have more of the other dudes.
Yeah, but the way I looked at it is, you need a HQ. He could be your HQ. I always look at that.
It's just such a cool model as well.
He's a cool model. I mean, again, he's behind me there. He was the first one I glued. I couldn't wait to get him out. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 2, strength 6, toughness 6, wound 6 is like good stats. And he's got his 18-inch Annihilator gun, which is assault 2d3, strength 6, blast, which is just like. He's got 2 different melee weapons. One is sort of anti-horde. You make 2 hit rolls instead of 1 for each attack. He's got 4 attacks, so that's basically 8 attacks. It's only -1, but if you're going against little Tyranid bugs and Orc boys, -1's all you need.
He's scary. I'd be scared of him.
Or the Hyperphase,
stay the hell out.
Hyperphase Harvester, which is +2, so it'll become a strength 8, -4, flat 3 damage. You do -1 to the hit rolls on that, which a few people had a bit of a problem with. But he's weapon skill 2, and he rerolls 1s anyway. So
that's like standard for most HQs, isn't it?
Had a few little heated. It was a heat debate, not argument. I'd like to say debate. It was on in the comments about they were comparing him to a Primaris captain, that 105-point captain. I think this guy's 130, and I was trying to defend this guy. And
the captain doesn't have the option of guns as well.
The captain hasn't got the guns. The captain hasn't got living metal.
Not toughness 6.
This guy's got a 4-up invuln as well. Those as well. Strength and toughness 6 as well.
I'm assuming he's got like reanimation or something.
He's got living metal, so he gets 1 wound at the start of his phase currently. So we don't know how that's going to affect him. He's only got a 3-up save, so that was another problem.
He hasn't got an invuln, okay.
No, he can't be targeted. No. He's got a 4-up invuln. He has got.
So he's really good.
But he's not got a 2-up save. He's got a 3-up save. But I didn't think that made a difference.
No, it's going to be really hard to kill him.
You can't target him.
You can't
he's
target
only wound
him.
6. And he's quick. He's 8-inch. He's not going he goes the same speed as the other destroyers. Yeah,
the thing with the captains, the ones in the box set anyway, without any upgrades, is if they're at the back kind of buffing units with their auras, then they're not really doing much.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of get them forward, whereas this guy, you can keep him in the back, keep him shielded. And what range is the gun?
The gun is 18-inch. But he's going to be going forward though, isn't he? But
exactly.
The comparisons that were coming out in the comments were, what about the I think it was a Chaplain Dreadnought for, I don't know how much more points more. It might be 10 or 20 points more. And I actually said, fair point, but I'd also put the Chaplain Dreadnought overpowered as well.
That's really good, yeah.
I think at the time we didn't do half stars, so once I explained that he has to be in one or the other, I think the guy understood. So it's fair game. So I'm sort of in between these two. I'm going to just stick him in the top one. If you agree with that, so. Just to be with them. They're both sort of in the middle, but I'm just going to sort of follow suit. I think
they're just scary. Like I just wouldn't.
I like him. Anti-horde, anti-elite. I really like him. So let's get onto your chaplain, your 4-powered chaplain that you were praising a minute ago.
Yeah, the chaplain. I really like the chaplain. So he's kind of just pretty much regular stats, but he's got the weapon skill 2+, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, 3-up save. He's got the Crozius Arcanum. So I think it used to be strength +1 and 1 damage, if I'm not mistaken. So they've made it strength +2 now, 2 damage, -1 AP. So he's fighting strength 6, -1 AP, 2 damage, with 4 or 5 attacks on the charge, or with shock assault.
But this guy's about the litanies, and I mean, I'm a little bit out of touch with litanies because I play with the Xenos armies.
So yeah, basically you at the beginning now with 9th edition, you have to roll for each litany at the beginning of the command phase. You have to do it.
Okay.
So it's basically roll 1. It says here roll 1d6 on a 3+. That litany is recited. That's all. Or it's inspiring.
Wasn't it a 2+ before?
No, I think it's always been.
It's always been 3. Okay.
As far as I know. So so they nerfed it a little bit because say if you come in from reserves, then you can't actually use any litanies.
Because that's after the command phase.
That's after, so that's a bit. It's annoying, but
is there a list of
there's
litanies?
some really good ones. Yeah,
Where are they?
There's a whole load, and they're really good.
They're not in this little book I've got, but which came with the box. So it's
no,
just
they're in the codex. Do you want me to?
No, don't worry about it.
Yeah, they're really good. Buffs to. I think the one that sticks out is add 2 to your charge. So
it's a roll, yeah.
Yeah, charge roll. I think it's 2 inches to the charge roll.
So don't Blood Angels get +1 to their charge as well? So would that be +3?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So if you manage to, one thing you could do. So the option that I think you can get in the codex is this guy on a bike. I've seen a leak somewhere where he had points for him on a bike, and I think it was like 135, if I'm not mistaken.
And what's this guy? This guy's about 80 or something. I'm just guessing. He looks about.
He's 85 as well. With all his weapons. So yeah, I'd take that with the bike because you probably get the extra toughness and extra wound.
Is it worth it though? Is that extra?
I think it's definitely. It's definitely worth it because you're mainly taking him for his litanies, and they're an aura. So if he's got a bike, you can basically whiz around and buff different units. So say if you like,
how do you protect him? How do you protect him though?
You could take Outriders, for instance.
Okay.
Like that would be good. So say like one kind of tactic you could use with this guy is say if you've got like the Intercessors or the Blade Guard veterans dropping in from reserves, if this guy's on the board and you have to kind of time it right, but if you roll that litany to +2 to charge rolls, then basically you can drop them in and then meet them there. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's if you've got a bike. And from what I've heard, he's going to be available on a bike when the codex comes out. So so this guy's decent, definitely.
So you're sticking him on decent, yeah?
Yeah, so he knows the Litany of Hate, which is reroll hit rolls.
It's all hit rolls, right?
Whilst models are within 6. So that's really good just to start with. I mean, I know you need to roll for these litanies, but then you can have other ones. You can't re-roll the litany test or whatever it's called.
So if you fail the litany, is there any anything bad happen, or is it just
no?
So it's not like a perils. It's not like a psychic thing.
No, it's not like that. Yeah. So unfortunately, if you fail it and you're kind of banking on this for like your whole strategy, then it's not good. And you can't. Before you could re-roll it. So, but if if you upgrade him, so in the Psychic Awakening book, Faith and Fury, you can upgrade him to a Master of Sanctity, which is kind of like the head of the chaplains, or the best. Like you kind of upgrade him. It's 1 command point, and then I think you can re-roll that. So I would do that every single time.
Oh, if you can re-roll that, then yeah.
I think it is you can re-roll. It's either you can re-roll it straight away, or it's like you can make him it's like a Warlord trait or something. I think it is. It might be a Warlord trait. I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. But you can. It also allows you to take an extra litany. So you know the litany of hate, which is re-roll hit rolls. Then you can choose another one. There's loads of different ones. But if you upgrade him for 1 command point, you can take 2. So you can take the litany of hate, and then you have another 2 to choose from. So
and you can re-roll as well.
I think that might be a Warlord trait.
Sorry. Okay.
Sure. That might be a Warlord. I'm not sure. So, but yeah, he's really good. If he was on a bike, I'd take him as a Warlord. I think he'd be really good.
Okay, so going on to the last one, which is the Canoptic Scab Swarms. I think I was slightly harsh on the review. I gave them a 2-star.
Yeah, I thought they were decent. I thought they were right.
I mean, they don't do much in terms of like damage output. They're just
annoying. I remember playing them when you used to collect Necron.
Yeah, but that was when they had the rule where they just like tear tanks to bits, like on twos and stuff. You just get like 9 of them in one squad next to a tomb spider, and they used to just destroy land raiders in.
I remember you did it. Yeah.
But they don't have that rule anymore, and that was a few editions ago actually. Now they just on 6s they automatically get a hit, and bear with me again. Let me reread that. I'm wondering if a hit roll of a 6 automatically scores a hit and successfully wounds. So 6s will go straight to wound.
Wow. Okay.
But there's no AP. There's 1 damage. It's strength 3. It's okay. They're getting 4 attacks base, and you got 3 bases, between 3 and 6 bases rather. So what you do with these guys is you either deep strike them onto objectives or parts of the board. Maybe it's your secondary objectives where you can score from, having parts of the board.
What power level are they? So
power 2. Power 2.
So you could get loads of them for your deep strike.
Yeah. Power 2, but if the unit contains 4 or more models, it increases to 4.
It's not bad, yeah.
So you put them on objectives, put them where you want for your secondary objectives, or you're just using them as screens. And that can be quite crucial, having them as a very good screen, because they've got 4 wounds each base, and okay, they're weak. They're toughness 3, but you've got to
if you're targeting them, then you're not targeting other
you've got
stuff.
to chew through them. You've got to get through them with your,
I like them. I really
especially
like them.
Marines, because Marines, like, nowadays they seem to be more... they're more elite now. You're getting less of them, but they're more, they're more.
I think one person mentioned in the comments that you can also, because they're so small, you can hide them out of line of sight as well.
Well, they're literally like flat pack IKEA stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you
tiny.
can actually,
you can't see them, and they're scoring you points. So they do make their points up in terms of that in that sense. But and they're actually only cheap. I think, top of my head, I think they were like 35 points for 3 bases. So they can win you the game, and it is an objective edition. Most of the edition is about objectives. So I think I was a bit harsh. Like I was sort of remembering the old edition, and
so you've got 12 wounds for
you've effectively
35 points.
Yes,
I'd say decent. I really like them. I think if I was playing Necrons, I'd have loads of these.
They're not troops or anything like that.
I think they're just
here's another thing. They've got fly as well.
Yeah, I think they're decent, man. I know they're not like what you would typically call.
They're not putting anything out though. They're not doing any damage.
I know, but they're going to do their job. They're going to be annoying.
They're doing their job and they're scoring points, and that's if you're playing competitively. These guys.
Yeah, I think I'd give them a 4.
I think why I was so harsh is we don't play competitive. We're not quite narrative, but we're not like I'm going to have 3 demon princes like we used to do in the old days. Like we don't do that kind of stuff. So that's probably why I didn't look at them as much as I should have. So I'm going to sort of upgrade them to... They were in 2-star. I'm sort of going to put them They would be in between for me, but I think they're going to go not bad.
Oh, I really like them. I think I'd take a few of them.
You can't. Oh, I thought you were saying you want them decent.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
you can't put them in the same as Intercessors, surely.
I know, but for what there's, I think, yeah, for 12 wounds for 35 points, and.
But it's not doing nothing though. They're not. No, I take that back. They are doing something.
Yeah,
they're not doing.
They're going to be on objectives. Maybe I'm.
You are right. Really I think you are right, but
it's just because they're not killing stuff.
I think it's my playstyle. My playstyle is not. I haven't adapted well to the 9th edition. I used to love kill points. I used to just go out every turn. I was a bit like mini wargaming Dave. I used to just kill. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't care about objectives. I was rubbish at the objective games because I just wanted to go out and destroy stuff, and that's probably why I overlooked them. So
yeah, maybe. Okay,
I'm going to stick them there.
You're the Necron guy, so.
Well, is there anything you changed looking at now? Like looking at that top tier, would you keep them all? Are they all on par with each other? Would you say the Eradicators are there? I mean, a few commenters were saying that they're not as good as you think.
I was thinking that, but I think with the new melter rule, they can drop in and probably they can take out a lot of stuff. They're getting 6 shots. And then they've got, so what's that? 6 shots. What's 6 times 8?
48.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Don't embarrass me on a video now. It better be 48.
Hold on.
Are you saying?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 48.
Yeah.
So they could do 48 damage. 3 of them.
Who? You mean these guys?
No, the Eradicators.
Oh, sorry. I missed. Yeah, they can do a lot.
That's ridiculous.
They stay there. I'm kind of thinking my little Plasmans might drop, Is he the same? Is he on tier with Assault Intercessors, Outriders, Primaris Captain? Is he on tier with these?
It's just, it's
even
the
him,
way we've...
Is he even the Lieutenant?
Yeah, I mean, it's the wording we've used. We've done, decent, so... They are decent. Yeah, they are good.
We didn't put half stars. That's what we should have done here as well. We should have learnt our lesson.
Yeah, I know.
Next time.
There's probably a halfway.
The next time we do a tier list, we're doing halves because
it's really hard to split stuff up though.
He should be down a peg. He should be down a peg.
But with him with the mortal wounds, I mean,
it's not
the captain and we worked out, what was it, 12 you could do in a game. Plus, that was only the one that's 18.
What did you just say these guys do in a turn? I mean.
That's potential. I mean,
yeah.
So
I mean, you know what? No. Something's wrong here. How can the Plasmancer be decent but the Overlord be not bad? He's got to come down. As much as I like him, he's got to come down because he can't be worse than... He can't be better than that.
The auras are better, aren't they? Or no?
Well, he's got his own auras too. If anything, he could be up there. It's so hard with Necrons because it depends on the list you've got, the strategy you've got, your play style. Like you literally could look at one of these and go, this guy could be the best thing ever.
Yeah, depending on what you do.
Marines is kind of straightforward. That's why it's for beginners. I'm not saying it's for beginners. I know I just said that, but they sort of try and tunnel it to the beginners because it's a lot easier to learn.
Yeah, with the Marine stuff. You could take anything in that box.
And they're all pretty good.
It's all right, yeah. It's all.
Whereas Necrons, you've got to read between the lines and go, okay, these are okay if you use them in this way.
Yeah.
So, are you happy with this? Are you anything else you want
to do? Yeah. It was fun, yeah.
So, these are, if you disagree with these, this is to the viewers now, if they don't agree with these, put it in the comments. What would you change? Is there anything massively wrong? Maybe I can imagine this one. There's a few little heated arguments in the comments about that one. What would you change? Let us know. Don't forget to drop us a like if you like this kind of video. We hope that you do like this video because we want to be doing more of these. We do enjoy these tier list videos, so we want to be doing more, especially when the new codexes come out. We'll be doing them for those. Remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks for everyone who's subscribed so far. It's going better than we thought, I think. So, yeah, cheers. See you in the next video.
Bye-bye.